I think the purpose of our marriage, as I look at it, just kind of was what was ever in front of us. When we first got married, we were still kind of right at, or just finished college. You were still in college, and so I think it was kind of a continuation of our college years. And so it was getting to know each other, having fun, that kind of stuff. We had those kind of 5 carefree years before we had kids, and then all of a sudden we have kids, and it was almost like we kind of made this drastic change in our lifestyle, which we probably needed to make at that time. But also we have this baby, and then a couple of years later, a second baby, and our focus became, I think, how to parent together. How do we parent these kids together? And then as we went through different stages, it seems like our purpose a lot was, from that standpoint, was what's in front of us.
Well, that's true. I think so too. But I think our purpose also was a long-term, coming from the commitment that we just talked about. I think our purpose was to see what we could do to make our family and our marriage something that God would really enjoy saying, hey, look at that. So I think now we've just morphed into this couple that... our purpose is to live out whatever time we have left, really being used of God and helping one another in every way that we can. You now with this ministry and just different ways that we can do that now and being grandparents.
Yeah, and just trying to maybe help others see what God's done in our lives, so maybe that encourages them to let God be a part of their lives and their marriages, because
maybe somebody could hear something that's we've been through or whatever that
could help
might
them.
help them.
Yeah, because I think looking at where I really think our purpose kind of changed just as far as our relationship with God was when we went through the really hard time at year 5, somewhere in there, when we almost got a divorce, where we were really close to that time. And I think God just did something really special in our lives as we moved forward then. And all of a sudden it was like divorce is off the table, and the purpose of marriage is really to honor God. Now, we didn't know much about how to do that then, but I think it changed the focus of our marriage at that point. And then God continued to show us as we went through different stages of marriage and grow us in that how do we honor God with our marriage? How do we have a marriage that God, or have the marriage God has for us? And we needed to do some things different. I couldn't tell you what to do. And you said before of times that you think I was kind of controlling.
Yes.
Can't believe that, but you've said that, right? And so I had to come to the point of realize that was God's job, to change you, to mold you, to make you into the wife that He wanted you to be. And He did a good job. I mean, He really did. And so leaving that in his hands was good.
True. But also around that time, where the kids were beginning to get a little older and more independent, we both, that's when you went into ministry. And that's when I just started going to ladies' Bible study. And that was a huge force, I think, in helping me as a woman, but also us as a couple to center everything around Christ and allow Him to lead us as individuals and as one. And I think we were both seeking God together back then. That's when we really first started deepening our walk. And, I just recommend that to so many young women now that I talk to, that many people can study the Word of God and join certain groups and whatnot, and deepen their walk. But I really believe a structured Bible study is so good for starting out, and you just learn so much that way in the fellowship of other Christian women. I think that's important too.
Yeah, help us keep our focus on where it needs to be.
You said one time that in the summer when I would be off my Bible study for the summer, you said you could really tell a difference in me, and I think that's true.
Yeah, I remember.
I think when we're focused in the Word and gleaning all we can from that, it just makes a difference.
Yeah, I remember Grant said one time, he was probably about 10, and he said, it was about the end of the summer, and he said, "Dad, when does Mom start Bible study again?"
I love that kid.
Yeah.